Hi, it's been a while. I've been going through quite a lot, going very internal, and I just feel like making some 500, even though it doesn't quite line up with the biodynamic calendar. We are encouraged to follow our intuition in these things. So I am going to make some Biodynamic 500 prep, and this is the foundation prep of all biodynamics. So this will be the first in a series, and I'll take you through all the preps one by one. What you need to make beautiful 500, which I'll show you in a minute, the finished product, are cow horns. I'm getting harder and harder to find. These ones are so old that their lactating rings have worn off. But they do need to be cow's horns, not bull's horns. And from a lactating cow, or a cow that has lactated in the past. And you can tell how many calves a cow has had by how many rings she has left behind on her horn. Unfortunately, as I say, these have been used again and again, so I can't really see very clear lactating rings. But if you get into it, you'll see what I mean. So basically, you take a cow's horn and fill it with fresh cow poo. Now, poo ideally comes from a lactating cow. It's to do with the energy that comes up from the earth through the cow's hooves up into the horn, circulating around, coming back down and going back down into the earth. So it's this cycle of energy that is coming up through the earth to the tip of the cow's horns and back down again. Many ancient cultures have a mystical relationship to cows, and there are many goddesses who are represented by the cow's horn. Now, some people put a plug of clay at the end of that. I haven't got any clay at the moment, so I'm just going to make these ones pure cow poo. Of course, if you can get cow poo from an organic source, farmers who don't use herbicides or use an organic herbicide, so much the better. Or at least speak to your farmer and make sure that a herbicide has not been used in recent times. Here are our horns filled with fresh cow poo. Okay, so I've made up a dozen horns here with the fresh cow poo jammed right in them, and I'll bury those in a minute, about 18 inches under some really decent soil, and they'll stay there absorbing the qualities of autumn and winter and be dug up on the spring equinox. Ideally they would have gone down in the autumn equinox, but I'm running a little bit behind schedule here, so they should have gone down in March. But that's okay. As I say, biodynamics is very intuitive, and I have complete faith that this will work. And what happens after it has been under the ground, absorbing those qualities of going within and really deeply connecting with the earth, is an incredible amount of microbial activity happens, and you end up with this. So it goes from the cow poo, fresh green cow poo. Don't want to spill it any because it's incredibly precious. So it turns from that to that. Turns from that to that. And if you could smell that, there's absolutely no scent of manure at all in it. It's a very dark, crumbly, humus-rich, beautiful, beautiful smelling preparation, 500. About that much, 500, stirred in a bucket of water, and there's a stirring technique that you use to create order and chaos, getting a vortex going and then going the other way. You've got to stir it for an hour. That much in a bucket of water will cover an acre of land. So our property here, our joint suburban block, is about half an acre, and I won't even need that much to cover all of this area. How you store your 500 is quite important. You store it in a ceramic container with peat around it, or it could be wood, but it's got to be a natural material, not plastic, in other words. And I've just got another ceramic container in the middle of all this peat, and that's where I store the 500, like so. There are 8 other preparations. 501, which is ground up quartz crystal, quite another trip altogether, and it's also shoved in the corn, and it is also shoved in the horn and buried on the spring equinox when you dig up your 500. And it absorbs the qualities of spring and summer and light. So all the energies from the sky and the universe and further planets. So we have these 2 really potent preparations, 500 from the earth and 501, basically light. What you end up doing is making a liquid light. The 500 goes out in the last hour of the day, and in big droplets hitting the earth. And the 501, the liquid light, gets sprayed out in a fine mist in the first light of day before the sun gets too hot. This is the 500. Again, ideally you wouldn't use plastic tubs to do this in. I recommend steel, metal of some kind, or ceramic if you've got something big enough to do the job in. But I'm just going to stir it in this and then transfer it to a smaller ceramic one. So we're getting order and chaos. So beautiful after about, it's hard to say in time, but this one you stir for an hour, and usually about 40 minutes in you'll feel the whole thing soften, and I've always likened it to liquid silk. This is a good one to do if you've got friends and family around to help. You can take it in turns and everyone gets to put their energy into it. And you'll find little bits of the 500, just rub it and dissolve it in your hands and try and keep that motion perpetual.